He walks through the streets, reflecting on how he almost got killed by a giant cow, and realizes that he needs to train even harder if he truly wants to become an adventurer capable of protecting people. After the incident, the dungeon gets filled with the white-haired woman's guards. She turns out to be Lynn Clay from a noble family. Her personal guard arrives and watches the dead Minotaur being inspected by scientists, while Clay's guards lay dead on the ground, covered by a white cloth. She immediately apologizes for not being there to protect her, but Lynn tells him not to worry about it. A little while later, another man named Dar enters and asks if she is fine and what happened. The news about the attack reaches her brother, Rai, who is completely shocked to find out that his sister was attacked by such a monster. He asks Dar whether he has any idea what a minotaur was doing on the surface when it is supposed to stay in the innermost depths of the dungeons. Dar bows down and explains that this was definitely an assassination attempt. They discovered that the ring Lynn recently bought from a merchant had a mana stone of 90% purity, which is extremely rare. This was why the Minotaur attacked her group. Rai still seems unclear, as he doesn't understand why a Minotaur would want a mana stone, but Dar reveals that he believes the mana stone was cursed by the neighboring enemy kingdom of Derry, known for practicing dark magic. Rai agrees with this assumption, as lately, Derry's army has been harassing them on the outskirts. Now, such a brazen attack on Lynn, without even trying to hide it, proves that they want a war. Rai then asks Dar about the man who saved Lynn's life. But Dar claims they know nothing about him, apart from the fact that he killed the Minotaur with his broadsword in minutes, but escaped quickly afterward without even telling his name to Lynn. The next morning, Noor goes into the guild as if nothing happened. A chubby man immediately walks up to him, asking if he is fine. Noor seems confused, so the man explains that last night a deadly monster emerged in the caves near his construction site, and that's why he was worried. Noor has no idea that the man is talking about the Minotaur he killed last night, as he thought it must be a low-level cow monster since he managed to defeat it. The chubby man tells Noor that he is lucky he left beforehand, because even a former A-ranked adventurer like him couldn't have done anything against such a strong beast. Noor wipes the dirt from his face and wonders what kind of monster could it be that even an A-ranked adventurer is scared of it. He thanks the gods that he only faced off against a giant cow. Noor asks what happened to the monster, and the man replies that some mystery man ended up killing the beast in a single blow, which shocks Noor. He wonders how strong that man must be to kill such a monster, not realizing that he is the man being talked about. Later, the man gives him his pay for the day, but tells him to get a real job as well, otherwise he won't be able to earn much. Before Noor can reply, a hooded figure appears behind him and calls out. Noor turns around to find the white-haired girl he saved yesterday. He asks how she found him, and she apologizes for following him, but claims she used her long-distance detection skill. He asks if she learned it from the thief schools, but she claims she is from the magician branch and has equal skills in all 6 branches. Lynn notices that she is drawing too much attention and asks Noor if they can talk somewhere more private. Before he can reply, the chubby man grabs him and asks what he did. Noor replies that he did nothing wrong, while Lynn deploys a soundproof barrier and asks him to come with her. They exit the building and walk through the streets to a desolate area, where she thanks him. She says that not only did he save her life, but he also saved many citizens. Noor still doesn't know how strong he is, so he claims that she is so talented and he must have ruined her plans by interfering. She tells him that's not true. In fact, if he didn't come to her aid, she would have probably died there. She then claims that she wants to reward him for his help, but Noor immediately replies that her gratitude is enough. Lynn, however, is not so easily pushed away and insists that she is a person of status, and even her father would like to thank him personally. He again refuses, which shocks Lynn, who cannot comprehend why a man would refuse a reward from a noble. She asks whether there is anything troubling him and even offers a lot of land if he wants it, but Noor keeps rejecting her offers. He tells her that he doesn't need anything from her, which makes her tear up as she feels obligated to repay him for his help. She tells him that she won't move from this place until he accepts her gratitude, which reminds him of the time when he did the same to one of the instructors of the healing school branch. He finally gives in and agrees to meet with her father, but refuses to take any over-the-top rewards. This makes her happy enough. And she uses magic to conceal both herself and him as they walk through the city back to her mansion. When they finally reach her house, Noor is completely shocked as he has never seen such a big and lavish place. They walk by the guards and enter inside, while Noor wonders whether this girl is a noble if she is so rich. On the way, they run into her personal guard, Eni, who looks at him suspiciously and asks who he is. Lin tells her that this is the man who saved her life, and she immediately softens up, claiming that she will take them to the Lord. They follow Eni through the gallery when Noor spots a guy wearing yellow armor waiting by the window. The guy immediately jumps into action, spinning his lance before pointing it towards Noor, asking who the hell he is. Eni tells him to back off as he is Lin's guest, but this Pikachu-looking guy ends up making fun of Noor for looking poor. Eni introduces him as Gil and asks him to accompany them into the room as she still doesn't fully trust Noor. They wait outside the hall as Lin's father, Clay, is talking to his son about the chances of war increasing. They remember the last time they met with the king of Derry, who ended up insulting them and threatened to wage war against them if they didn't give access to all the dungeons in their kingdom. Soon, the door opens and they all enter the hall. Both Eni and Gil drop to one knee in front of their lord, but Noor has no clue who the man on the high seat is, so he simply walks ahead without a single care alongside Lin. She introduces him to her father, claiming that this is the man who saved her life. Immediately, the lord gets up from his seat and moves towards Noor, thanking him for saving the life of his girl. Noor tells him that he is not a noble and has never talked to nobles before, so he doesn't know how to properly behave. The Lord doesn't seem to mind, as he laughs and shakes Noor's hand before asking him to choose anything he wants for a reward. Noor immediately declines, claiming that he neither wants land nor gold. The Lord seems confused but tells him that if he wants, he can have half the treasure of the oldest dungeons in the world that fall in their kingdom. Arai advises against it, as the treasure is worth more than a small country's GDP, but to their surprise, Noor refuses it as well, claiming that he doesn't want any kind of gift from them. The Lord looks confused as to what sort of man would refuse such a gift. He then walks over to his seat and takes out the giant black sword behind it, which used to be his personal weapon during his adventuring days. Rai seems a bit worried, but his father tells him that it's fine, as the sword should be used on the battlefield and not kept as a decoration. He hands it over to Noor, who grabs the handle and immediately realizes that the weapon is heavier than anything he has ever used. Noor thinks that it is just a random second-hand sword, so he decides to accept it as a gift, as he wants all of this to end quickly so he can go back to work. Noor thinks that it is just a random second-hand sword, so he decides to accept it as a gift, as he wants all of this to end quickly so he can go back to work. The Lord asks him to swing it once, and to his surprise, Noor simply uses one hand to swing the sword so strongly that it creates a wind blast around them. Noor looks at the Lord and tells him that it's a bit heavy, but he will manage, which makes Clay laugh, as he can't believe this man just swung a two-handed great sword with a single hand. Clay asks whether he would like to train Lin a little bit, as it is getting very dangerous nowadays, which puts a smile on the girl's face. But Noor immediately declines, claiming that there is nothing he could teach her, and decides to leave. On the way through the gallery, he looks at the sword once again and realizes that it is the same size as the drainage ditch, which means that he can use it to scoop out dirt from the ditch much more efficiently. Before he could leave, though, he gets stopped by Gil, who puts a lance to his face, telling Noor that he wants to see whether he is worthy of that sword. Noor wonders whether he will ever be able to leave this mansion to get back to work. Stay tuned for more epic recaps, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting anime stories. Until next time, keep watching anime.